Hello, everyone. Welcome to another session of Data Science and Artificial Intelligence in Africa. Today we have Reem, who she was doing data science work in Africa, but now she's based in the UAE. So welcome, Reem.
Hi, Tananda. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to complain because when I sent you this message, it was a really long time ago. And just
Yeah.
yesterday when I checked your profile again, it now said UAE. And I'm like, but I really
Yes.
wanted to interview her when she was based in Sudan.
Yeah, previously, of course, I've been like working in Sudan for quite some time, but then with all the political situation, things has not been settled for a while, and I thought that maybe it's time for me to move to a different place. And actually, I was looking to move to like places like different research labs in Africa, but unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity that I was looking for. And I'm glad that I came here to UAE, which is currently one of the like hubs for AI and data science. But I'm so glad, like I'm so happy to be here with you. And I'm so proud of the work that you're doing, like
Thank you.
spreading the knowledge and sharing all the experiences across Africa. So proud.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think that your story is also still valid because there are a lot of people who are still interested in how you got into AI, the work that you've done, especially with the IndabaX and with Zindi as well, and also just how you got to move to another country as well, because some people are also interested in that. So I thought it would still be a good idea to have this discussion with you and share that. Okay.
Yeah.
So now getting into the questions. So generally we want to know like how you got into AI and the work that you're doing now, and then I'll ask some follow-up questions. So maybe first of all, can you introduce yourself and tell us about your journey into AI?
Okay, so my name is Reem Elmahdi. I am from Sudan. I graduated with a computer science bachelor from Sudan University. Then, after that, I worked in the software industry for about 2, 3 years. And I moved to South Africa to obtain my master's degree from the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. And I've done a research master's in the applied mathematics at Stellenbosch University, which focused on prediction models. And the main idea of the research was to deliver a project that focused on developing prediction models for water quality related variables. And what I'm currently doing is working with Arabic content, mainly applying natural language processing. And the way for me through like to this data science field was basically by complete coincidence. It wasn't like something planned, but I really liked it. So for me, as I said earlier, coming from a software industry and computer science degree, I was looking forward to work in the development industry, of course. And I was fascinated by the programs, mobile development and applications and all this stuff. But then also I wanted to move abroad and I wanted to get a master's degree, right? So when I got the scholarship to attend the master's by Ames, it was heavily based on mathematical concepts, which was really good for me. But I remember we had one course, which was the data science or data analytics course at the time. And it introduced me to the field of machine learning, analysis, of course, a bit of statistics, and a background of big data. And through that, I was trying to find my way because, if you are in like from the name, the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. So apparently you have to be super in math. So that wasn't the case for me. So I was trying to find, my way. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill the things that I know. So if there is something that is related to computer science, I have to be the best on that. So I was very lucky. I mean, I was able to utilize my programming skills as well as the knowledge that I have from like probability and statistics to put them into work and to use them as skills to help me understand like data science in general. And I find it quite fascinating, actually. I was very like inspired by all the work that has been done in the field, and I thought that maybe this is a good opportunity for me. Maybe I can try to look more and understand more. And I ended up graduating with a mini thesis in that field. And the main idea of that research was basically to identify outliers in data. So yeah, that was the way to go. Yeah.
Okay. I think I think I read your AIMS mini thesis. It was anomaly detection, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I think someone asked me for help with anomaly detection. I don't know how I ended up reading your like AIMS thesis on anomaly detection. And it was quite useful with some references that I got there. But we have something in common. Like when I went to AIMS, I mean, a lot of people still don't know about AIMS, especially in my country. But it's a really good stepping stone for you to enter into like a lot of fields where you need like a combination of like your computer science or your mathematics background to get into like these AI fields and stuff. But we have one common thing that we both did, computer science. I struggled a lot when
I remember.
like you remember because I kept going to you asking you for help because I just didn't know if I was the right fit for AIMS. But how was it in general? Because you ended up doing a second master's in applied mathematics. How was the shift from computer science into now working in a field where there's a lot of mathematics required?
Yeah. So one thing that you guys might not know is that after, or actually during my second master's, I was tutoring at AIMS where I met Tatenda. And yeah, getting back to your question, I think, of course, like you won't expect it because, okay, for example, if you read the profile of AIMS, you would get to know that they don't actually focus on one domain. It's not only purely mathematics, and it's not purely physics, and also it's not purely computer science. So you get to say, okay, fine, if they are like covering all these different courses, for sure, with the option of choosing one or two modules per block, then you get to find something that's more suitable for you and something that you would prefer more compared to other courses. And actually, I would say that, of course, if you have like a mathematics background, it will help you a lot, especially with the differential equations, numerical analysis courses, because they used to be like tough. The main thing is that the main problem is not like the course itself, not the content, but actually the time, because you have to absorb all this knowledge in only 3 weeks. And imagine every 1 week you have to submit an assignment, do different types of like exercises. Maybe sometimes you have to do tests on regular basis. And for you not having that background might be a hurdle in your journey. But I would say that it was quite educational, even though that it was challenging, but it was quite educational because you could see the amount of knowledge that you can get and learn in that short period of time. So I will say that I really liked it. I really liked it, even though that it stretches. I think that it stretches my my ability to learn, if I would say that. And now I know if I put my mind into something, I will definitely learn
now
it.
you're like, I know I can do this.
Yes, of course. Yeah, of course. And remember, you are studying with all these like brilliant minds. Those are like the tops on their countries. And then you are now competing, not in your like country level, you are competing in the continent level. So those people are giants. So that was a very great experience.
Yeah, there were some really smart people. But it was, in general, like comparing myself to the year before I came to AIMS and the year after I finished my degree, I felt like a different person, because before I was just doing stuff, but I wasn't quite comfortable. If someone was to say, can you explain this to me, or can you do this? I'd say maybe I'm quite limited and I'll not be certain. But after AIMS, I kind of gained a bit of confidence with the skills that I was good at, like the ones that I picked off from AIMS. I think I got confident, which is a really good thing. I think AIMS is really good for that, especially if you want to get to like another field where you want to say, I'm confident with one particular skill that I can get from AIMS. I think it's a good
And remember, Tatenda, when you graduated from your university, I don't know if this is the case for you, but for me it was like, oh, now I graduated with the first degree, I'm the best, da 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 da. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this master and I will nail it.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then when you go there, you find the giants. Oh my God. And then it humbles you. It just gets you. I think my journey was like this. When I started, I was very confident because it was very like introductory level, physics, math, programming, which you already know, like coming from computer science, you would not struggle with that. But then when you start the mathematical, like the core math courses, and then you don't have a choice, you don't have the freedom that you think you might have.
Yeah.
When your confidence starts dropping, and then after a while, it starts picks up again. So yeah,
it's
very nice.
It's like I think at the beginning, especially when you do like the introduction to Python, because a lot of people like will go there and they haven't done programming before. If you come from a computer science background, you're easy to pick up things and you feel like I can nail this. And then all of a sudden it changes, and all of a sudden you're in class and you're confused. But I think AIMS teaches you to just put in effort to also know how to ask for help from others and just just to do well in general. So it does push you and it helps you to feel comfortable even in difficult situations, and then you can just push through. So after your work with AIMS, I saw that you also did some work with IndabaX, like planning events for Sudan, and also you're the Zindi Ambassador for Sudan. Can you please talk about that?
Okay, so first of all, I love Zindi so much. I like also what Indaba are doing. Of course, they like spreading the knowledge of machine learning and AI in all over the continent. I like Indaba for reasons which are completely different than Zindi. For me, Indaba is a platform that connects all these people, all the minds of machine learning in Africa, which is very nice and promising. And what makes me more like inspired or lean towards Zindi is the fact that Zindi is not like an event that runs like in a specific window.
Yeah.
It can run all over the year because Zindi is a platform. It's a data science platform where you can find competitions, hackathons, you can find jobs, you can find blogs, different articles that are related to AI and machine learning specifically. And you get to put your skills that you learn in different courses or maybe online or maybe from your colleagues into action. And by competing in these different competitions, you actually get exposed to real life data, which you will definitely work with when you later join the industry if you want, or maybe if you want to join the academia. Of course, you will have to have some knowledge about how you can deal with data, of course, applying all these pre-processing techniques, exploratory data analysis, and then how to apply these models, how to optimize them, and finally to report the results. And on that, I would say the number of IndabaX like events that I participated in were limited in comparison to Zindi, because as I said that Zindi has different like events run all over the year, like throughout the year, and it doesn't only focus on teaching people like the skills, but it rather puts them in action. So yeah, so currently I'm an ambassador for Zindi for Sudan, and I join different panels and try to teach people about what Zindi does, try to introduce the students, of course, in final year, semifinals as well, fresh graduates to Zindi. And I always mention that what's very special about Zindi is the fact that the data sets that they are using mostly from Africa or all from Africa. So every data set that you work on is collected and documented in the continent. And who's the better person to solve these problems but the people of the continent?
Yeah, that's right. But one question, how does one become a Zindi ambassador?
Okay, for you to be a Zindi ambassador, you have to be part, or not actually have to be part of machine learning related society, but you have to be exposed to different communities in your country, and you apply online to become an ambassador. And after that, you will have an interview with the communication manager, and they will ask you about different plans, or maybe what vision do you have for your country. And then you can propose different events where you talk about maybe not only Zindi, but you can talk about different topics in machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, if you want to educate your people about the applications of regression or maybe time series analysis and the stock markets and all of these different applications. You can also plan that, and based on the planning and your vision, they will accept your application, and then they will connect you, of course, with the people who they work with in the country. And then later you can be a one team. Some of you will be focused on developing those different hackathons. Others will be focusing on making joint programs, like the one that we did lastly with IndabaX. That was last year, IndabaX Sudan. And that was a hackathon, and it aims to strengthen the skills of the machine learning practitioners in Sudan. And the problem was a classification problem, and it was open for all IndabaX participants. And it was very nice because we could see that they are different people who joined the competition or the hackathon were from different levels. Some of them were beginners, others were intermediate, and some of them were advanced. And we could see that people have tried to tackle all these problems, and they used their shared knowledge. They were able to ask different questions and to seek help when needed.
Okay, that's great. I think our time is almost running out, but I think we have time for 2 or 3 more questions. So I also wanted to ask about any interesting projects that you've worked on, that can, if I ask about interesting projects, the one that you'll be oh, this is a really nice top project that you can talk about. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say that in the name entity recognition, which is one of the applications of the natural language processing. So in the company that I'm currently working on, it's called the DA Think Lab, where we focus on marketing, but in a more intelligent way. And this by applying machine learning models to, for example, identify the emotions of the people, what the people say on the social media about different brands and different products. And then we use that to help companies promote themselves in a better ways. And since we're based in the UAE, the focus is in the region of GCC and mainly the Arabic speakers in the region. And for me, I feel the named entity recognition, which aims to identify different classes, or maybe categorize. If, let's say, if I have a tweet, I will be interested in identifying the locations in that tweets, the country mentions, cities, maybe names, and what makes me more interested in this is the fact that there is no like kind of models that works currently for languages like Arabic. We can find something easily for English, but since Arabic is not that like spoken by so many people around the globe, I guess, and there has not been that much of a development as we want. I find it very interesting because now you can think of this problem as, maybe you can think of it as a transfer learning problem, where you want to transfer the techniques that you used in English into another language, which is Arabic. But then you have also to think about like different structuring of the languages, and of course like the context in one language might not be the same in the other language. So I think there is a lot of research that has to be done in that. And yeah, I started this project like 2 months ago, but I'm still on that one. And every time when I read about it, I feel like I'm more excited, because you might think, okay, what should I do? Can I translate first and then apply the NER? Or maybe it's better to build like a new model from scratch, or maybe we can use another model and then add more layers to that one, so we can use it for this people of this region with this specific dialect. So it's very interesting because it has so many open questions.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. One of the fellows who are here on the research fellowship program with me, her name is Wafa. She's also from Sudan, and she's working on natural language processing.
Yes.
I think she's using it has something to do with images, and then also learning from languages like English, and then also adding Arabic and trying to compare with German as well, because she speaks Arabic and English and she knows a bit of German. So that's really working out very well for her. Yeah, I think you can also connect if there's something that
yes, definitely, for sure. Wafa is a very great engineer in machine learning, and she participated in the last deep learning in IndabaX Sudan. And yeah, I will definitely contact her for that.
Yeah. Okay. So is there any advice that you'd want to give to someone who is interested in the field, or interested in taking a similar journey, as you did, getting into AI, especially someone who has a background in computer science? What would you say to them?
Okay, I don't think everyone would like to follow exactly what I did, because I said that it wasn't like something planned. But if you are someone coming from computer science background, know that you already have the basis that will help you to move forward. You already studied like the foundation, and you have the knowledge that you can build upon, so you can reach the level that you want to. And of course, for someone who's coming from computer science, software engineering background, you already like have the skills of the like solving problem skills. I would say that data science and solving the problems in machine learning are somehow similar, because you are exposed to this different problems, and then you have to solve them one by one. I would say that take one step at a time. First of all, think of which approach that is best for you to learn. Some people try to learn from top down, others try to learn bottom up. If you're someone who can grasp the knowledge so quickly, and it's better for you to run an application, see the results, and then dig deep into the program, and then understand the differences between all these parts and the connections and the math behind it, then do that. If you prefer to start from the foundation level, studying algebra, probabilities, statistics, and then move upward towards like maybe reading different articles, and then after that applying, you can do that. So I think know that what you already have is enough. Define what your approach that suits you is, and then start. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I really like that you say like You also talk about how any approach is fine as long as you can get to where you want, because it's different for people, right? Some take a longer route, some take a shorter route, some it depends on the opportunities that they get. So I think that's really important because sometimes you want to try and follow someone else's journey, but it might not work out the same way for you. So thank you for that. So yeah, I think I think we're running out of time, so I'm gonna end the conversation here. Hopefully, if there's someone who's still interested in learning more from Reem, you can just suggest that we do a part two. I'm sure she will be available sometime. So thank you so much for making time for this, Reem.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I do really appreciate it. Thank you for your time too.